Welcome back, and welcome for the first time for those that are here for the Water Committee on December 10th is today. And I'll start by recognizing that we are on the unceded and traditional territories of the Comox First Nation. And we have our CEO from Courtenay at the table today. We have a couple other. Does Shelley want to come up? She's good. And we'll move right into Section C, Management Report, and I'll pass it over to staff. Did you want to do anything? Thanks, guys. CEO?
Thank you, Chair and Directors. And I just wanted to take this moment to, of course, answer any questions on the Water Committee Management Report, but also to introduce you to Gracelyn Shannon, who is here. She is our new Manager of Asset Management and joins us, well-experienced individual, both in the private sector and public sector, last having worked for the town of Gibsons. And we're very grateful to have her on board. I'm only sorry that there isn't about 6 or 7 of her, given the demands that all of our managers have and the interest that we have in advancing asset management in the organization. So a warm welcome to Gracelyn.
Yeah, welcome aboard. And so concerning the management report, and I think that's been done. Are there any questions or comments on it? Not seeing any. All those in favor? And that's unanimous. And we'll move on to Section D, reports, the Water Management Advisory Committee minutes. Thank you. And would staff like to comment on anything on that?
Answer any questions?
There was one question that arose from the minutes, and that was concerning the bulk water rates and how they're going up every year, of course, but are they going to be responding to changes in consumption? And presumably, you see later in the agenda our Water Smart Action Plan in Courtenay, and we have high hopes of reducing our consumption, and just wondering how staff plan to deal with lower consumption.
It will definitely be a discussion for the Water Committee through the financial plan this year.
Excellent. I don't see any other questions, so all those in favor, proceed. Any opposed? And that's unanimous. And moving on to Section 2, the Water Treatment Project Dashboard Update. And I'll pass it over to staff.
Thank you very much, Chair and Directors. And I introduce you to Charlie Gore, who will come forward and give a summary of the dashboard and update you on the water treatment project and answer any of your questions.
Thank you, Chair. I have a brief presentation for the committee today. So I hope you're all aware of the updates that we've been providing quarterly to the public for the project, and they all continue through the life of the project, highlighting much higher level milestones and keeping the public informed of items that will be impacting them throughout the infrastructure as we build it. But internally we have looked at a need to keep the committee informed on a much more detailed level of how the project is progressing. And so what we're proposing is a very short dashboard update monthly that allows you to keep tabs on any aspects of the project that you're interested in. So this is our first kick at the can to talk to budget, to schedule, to some of the community employment benefit targets that are held in the project, and to provide some project photos. But I am very interested in hearing back from any of you, all of you, on other things that you'd like to hear about in detail as the project moves forward. These will be public staff reports, so if there's anything confidential that comes up through the project, we can bring that to you through other staff reports. But these will be just keeping you in the loop on anything that you're interested in as the project moves forward. So the dashboard, as it stands, is a one-page dashboard, and it's giving you an update on the budget, the community employment benefit targets, any safety or environmental incidents, and the schedule. As you know, we're really just getting going out there, but it is pretty exciting times. Shovels are in the ground. If anyone's been past the water treatment plant site, we're racing ahead with excavations. We've even got some mud slabs down, which are kind of low density concrete they pour to allow them to get out of the mud when it starts raining and start forming concrete. So it is really exciting times. So this dashboard gives you a very brief picture on the budget. There's zero variance from what we brought forward to you in July that the Water Committee approved. Everything's going to budget. And skipping to the next one, let me see how this works. Yes, schedule as well. The overall milestones for the schedule are still intact. We did have, as you can see on the raw water construction in the kind of middle of the schedule table there, we were delayed slightly in getting our DFO permit for the raw water pump station. We actually received that last Friday, which is fantastic. So they're going to be out there tomorrow morning starting the raw water pump station site. But thankfully, the raw water pump station is not on the critical path. So that is something that's not going to affect the overall completion date of the project. No safety or environmental incidents, and you can see that the community employment benefits, which were a commitment made as part of the procurement process mandated by the federal government, they've started to tick some hours up with regard to those. And they report on all of these items monthly as part of their monthly project report that comes in with their invoices. So that's the information that we currently propose to be on the dashboard monthly. Very happy to hear from you if you want to see anything else on there, and please feel free as we move forward on the project to ask for additional information to be added. I've also added a couple of renderings and photos as we move forward in the detail design. As it's a design build, we are doing the detail design as we move forward with construction. And it's beautiful, Daniel. It's beautiful. So this is the renderings as it is progressing through detail design. We still have many details to sort out, but it's really coming together. We're really excited. When we were in Vancouver recently for the 60% design review, we were actually able to put on VR goggles and kind of walk our way through the plant, and the operators were able to get a feel for, the heights of valve operations and all, and we found some spaces that we were uncomfortable with and lifting plans and things like that. It's come a long way in even my short construction experience. So we're also working very closely with the Comox First Nation artists, who were the same artists selected for the Civic Center, to work for pieces to incorporate into the entrance to the building and into the building lobby, which is really exciting. They're super fun to work with. And they've got some fantastic ideas that we're working with the architect of the facility. You can see in these renderings, this is looking into the lobby from the entranceway. On the back wall there will be two large carved boardroom doors, which will be a real centerpiece of the lobby. And there'll be carved doors on rails sliding back and forth. It's a little bit hard to see some of the other features of the facility there, but on the right side, around the reception, there will be a cedar thatched wall panel there to reference Comox building culture as well. And now to the photos. These ones aren't quite as beautiful as we're just getting going. Acon, our contractor, are building their office up at the water treatment plant site. They'll have quite an extensive setup there for the next 2 years while the construction goes on. And this is the excavations. It's the building itself is many split levels as you go down into the plant. There's tanks sunk into the design, and there's chambers and rooms below grade. And so you can see they're already benching down into the till. They're finding really good ground out there. It's an ideal construction site from a construction perspective. Nice solid till to build on. And this is just the platform on the back side of the facility where they'll be building the clear well. So again, not very exciting photos just yet, but we're ramping up. It's exciting times.
Thanks, Charlie, and that is exciting, and I do appreciate the update. We do have a few questions here, but just so you know, we're looking at a 3:15 Sports Commission, so if people could keep their questions to 20 seconds, that'd be great. And then your answers have to be only slightly longer.
15.
That's right.
Great, thank you, Chair. Yeah, I was, I like seeing the community employment benefits, and I'm wondering if you have actual numbers of folks who are employed, that might be helpful as the project goes along. And do you have any idea how many are employed, how many jobs have been created at this point?
I do not, but I can definitely get that information and request it from our contractor. It will ebb and flow, and those roles will come and go throughout the project as per a construction project like this. But I can definitely add more information on it.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much. And Director Hillian.
Thank you, Chair. I'm just curious again on the community benefits. If the R is noted for Indigenous people and underrepresented populations are essentially the same?
Really good question. They're definitely able to double count, but they're not able to double count for Indigenous and underrepresented populations. So in this instance, I would assume that the Indigenous person employed on the project was also representing another group in the underrepresented populations, which includes women, people with disabilities, veterans, and I believe immigrants. So I'm assuming not First Nation and immigrant, but
Yeah.
they are able to double count as per the program, but you're not able to double count by being Indigenous and then automatically being an underrepresented population.
Okay, it's just it looks like it's the same, and I just wondered if we were doing a double count. And
I can
again, it might
definitely-
be helpful to have actual numbers of people employed.
Absolutely, I can
Thanks.
clarify that too.
And Director Hamir.
I do really like the dashboard, so I just wanted to send congrats on the nice look of it. If possible, if you had room on it, I'd be interested to know what different regulations need to be passed along the way, like in maybe the next 3 months, or I'd leave it up to you so as not to crowd it out too much, so that we know that you need certain clearances along the way, and if something's being held up, so just so that we know what to expect.
Absolutely, I can definitely add that.
Thanks, and that's all the questions we have, so we're on receipt. Thanks very much, Charlie. All those in favor? And that's unanimous. And next up, very similar, the water treatment project update. And does staff want to speak to it at all?
Just answer any questions.
Answer any questions? I mean, yeah, you can see, yeah. Does anyone have any follow-up questions about the project? I don't see any. And so all in favor of receipt? Thanks very much, that's unanimous. And lastly, it's the City of Courtenay Water Smart Action Plan. And this was put on here because there was some interest in what Courtenay was doing, as we mentioned before. We subsequently have received this at the City of Courtenay, and parts of this action plan will be looked at actually tomorrow, I believe, at one of our meetings for budget purposes. And all the information is there. Obviously, it's a great a document for us to have to move forward and to actually lower our consumption. And what else can I say about it? Is there any questions from any of the members about it, or is everyone happy with the information that's been provided about where Courtenay's going? I see you nodding head. I'll assume the rest of you are nodding on the inside. Oh, okay. Well, you can pull me aside later and tell me your deeper thoughts. So thanks very much then on receipt of that. All in favor? And that's unanimous. Thanks very much. I don't see any other business, so we'll move termination. Second. All in favor? Thanks very much. And Charlie's still here if we have more questions about the project, right? There we go. Because we cut him off. Sorry about that.